you think you're happy, and you want things to be exactly the way you believe that's how things should be. And that's different than how God does things, because God doesn't really care that what you think and how you think life should be. God is going to do what God wants to do. Means God is going to experience the opposites. God's going to experience the light, and God is going to experience the dark. Both of them are two different faces of God. It's like having a coin. Have you ever had a nice coin? Somebody gifted you a coin. It's gold, it's silver. You like your coin, and you turn it around, and a coin has two sides. It's got two sides. All coins have two sides. They don't have one side. You don't find a one-sided coin. You find two-sided coins. That's it. So, and that's what God is. Got two sides. It's got the angelic side and it's got the demonic side. Both of them are same expressions of the same one, the absolute. Is this clicking? Are we together so far? Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to continue. Fifth dimension and fifth dimensional consciousness is not a geographical place that you're going to arrive to. I'm going to explain this one more time to you. Fifth dimensional consciousness is not a geographical place or a style of life that you're imagining it is. So that's not where you're going to evolve to. The fifth dimensional consciousness is like a pyramid. You got the bad and you have the good. You have to go this ladder all the way where the bad and the good, they meet each other on the top of the pyramid. And then you go one step above to the eye of the pyramid, the all-seeing eye, which is the one. Means both good and bad has merged into each other, and you have evolved beyond good and bad into the oneness. Oneness means good and bad together. It doesn't just mean good. So you need to drop your idea of good and bad, because God doesn't really give a shit whether you think it's good or it's bad. Doesn't care. Your opinion about good and bad is not being considered here. So you're wasting your time if you're trying to figure out good and bad. You have to go beyond that, into the oneness, where good and bad are both accepted as different aspects and different expressions of the absolute. Absolute, I'm not talking about the vodka. Absolute means everything. Absolute. All of it. All of it is the absolute, is the infinite, is everything. Everything here is welcome. Everything here is accepted. Nothing is excluded. You may not like it, or you may like it. So, ascending to fifth dimension, ascending to a higher level of consciousness. But ascending to fifth dimension is also meaningless. It has no meaning. It's empty. It's just a bunch of baloney and bunch of words. Okay? It doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't do anything for the spiritual seeker. The words. It's bullshit. Ultimately, freedom of suffering is what you're interested in. You know? So we're using different words, pointing out. These are pointers. I'm pointing my finger. Go that direction, my friend. Don't go this direction. Go that direction. That's the direction that's going to free you. So what we want is we're going to become free from suffering. That's what we want. We want to reach ultimate happiness. That's what's important to you. And that's where you want to get. Now you can fancy it up by the word ascension to fifth dimension, rising your consciousness to a higher dimension, universal consciousness, but those are fancy words for simply wanting to be free and wanting to be happy and not being haunted by your mind, your emotions, and the events in the world. You want to come to a place that you're not affected by it. That's basically the bottom line. That's what every spiritual seeker wants to get to. So I just want to keep things very simple for you. I don't want to confuse you. And I want to be real about things. So we're just like straightforward, can communicate with each other, and there's no bullshit in between. Fancy stuff and blah, 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 blah. Just keep it simple and keep it real. So, how do we get to this place? How do I ascend my consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness? How do I rise to this place? So I'm giving you the clues. Now, in 2 weeks, 25th and 26th, I'm having a workshop specifically for ascending your consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness. And I will be getting into it in details and help you, giving you the meditations, the tools. We're going to just get into it really deep with everything. But today, I'm going to cover the general idea of what needs to be done. So, and give you the tools as much as I can within the respected time we have. So one of the practices and exercises that you want to do is to go beyond the duality. And you have to change yourself. You have to change the way you look at things. So because this whole awakening, this whole emergence with the oneness starts with shifting your way of looking at things from one area to another area. So, and one of the practices you can do is that you want to start looking at everything as God. Looking at everybody, pull their mask off of their face and look inside them. What's the driving force, the living spirit inside every human being? What's driving them, or any living being? It's the living spirit that's behind it. Now you may say, well, these are evil people and they do bad things. But where is their power source? Where do they get their battery? Where do they get their energy? Where does their computer gets charged from? It gets charged from electricity.